8.
You're watching the Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Happy Monday. All right, so I got the other can of spam here with me tonight, who is flying back down to the beach right after the show's over.
I think I'm actually going to go back down tonight.
So, yeah, we've got like a mini heat wave this week, so it's going to be in like the mid to high 80s.
Yeah,
so
sunny almost every day.
Ain't going to see him again until next Monday, maybe. It's supposed to break by that point.
Well, the person who has the house is always happy to. A lot of people who own houses down the Jersey Shore, it's their source of revenue, right? It's how they make their money. Because nice houses on by the ocean in New Jersey can be rented out for like $10,000, $12,000 a week or more, depending on the size of the house, right? So that's how these people make their money. Summer's over, everybody goes home. They're happy for any sort of money they can get.
Right.
So when we get to October, you know, if I tell you, hey, look, I'll give you $1,000 for the week, in their mind, that's $1,000 I wasn't going to get.
Right.
So, you know, 5 or 6 of us got together, talked real quick on the text chain.
Right.
And I said, look at this weather report for the week.
So all right. So people are already taking the over and under on the Comcast problem. So we got Preston at 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Where are we at right? We're at 3 minutes, 18 seconds there, Preston. Let's see. CJ is going with 7 minutes, 38 seconds.
How much cash is on the line? Because I'll just push a button right now.
John Stout went 24 minutes. And like, wow.
24
minutes.
We
were already down, and we would come back in 24
minutes. You don't watch the show very often, do you, sir?
So John, you are a horrible gambler, my friend.
Yeah, oh my God.
But Bar Lord in the house, Triple B.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us as always.
And
Robbie
weird.
Is here.
Yeah, the squirrel's tough, man. Those rats better like start
working out. And this is the Robbiest time of the year, man. It's October. It's spooky season.
The Robbiest time of the year?
It's the Robbiest time of the year.
It is the power month, is what it is, right?
I like Robbie's term better.
Ed Weird has been waiting for this.
Robbiest time. I don't know.
Ed Weird has been waiting for this since like November 1st.
Right.
So I'm super excited that October is here for him again. Somebody, I don't know if it was Edward, somebody posted up one of my favorite Halloween memes, and it says September 30th, and it's a picture of Cassandra Peterson. And right next to it, it says October 1st, and it's a picture of her as Elvira. And I think I might see about having that put on a shirt this year.
For what?
Key Public.
On a shirt?
Yeah, have that meme put on a shirt.
Okay, John.
You would not believe they will put anything on a shirt for enough money.
Oh, I know that.
They will.
That I know.
That's how I got this.
I'm not worried about that. You know, you're not gonna have a problem finding somebody to print that shirt up for you. So, Robbie, how you feeling today? Huh? Pretty good.
I feel good, man. I had a great weekend. Friday after our show, I went and watched Saw X. To no one's surprise, it's not that great. But then that night I was hanging out with some dear friends and we watched Saw 6 and 7 my first time. And I really enjoyed that. Had a great show about Wishmaster on Saturday. My Auburn Tigers almost beat the #1 team in the nation. So that was cool, but they didn't pull it out. Then yesterday I went and got my hair done, as you can clearly see. Got to inform my stylist that we were nominated for Best Hair and Beard. She was thrilled. So everybody go vote for Kristen. A vote for me is a vote for Kristen. So go do that at cbcawards.org. Then I got to watch my Cowboys just take care of the Patriots, right? I got to watch your Eagles almost lose to the Commanders, but they did pull it out at the end there. They were very impressive, both teams. And had a great Rockin Robbie Live, and here we are today, post-FOC, ready to go. Boom.
Well, for the Eagles, 4 ugly wins. All right, so, you know, it doesn't bode well. The Cowboys, please. Okay, come on, guys. Again, it's our year. It's our year until next week.
I didn't say that. All I said was I was happy that they handled the Patriots.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking
Don't be
about
putting no words
my
in my mouth,
friends.
Rex. Okay.
All
That's
my
all I'm
friends. No. I'm lumping you together with a group, okay, otherwise known as Cowboy fans.
Well, regardless of what you think about Cowboys fans, can we just take a moment of silence for Bears fans? Because it's just, that's got to be rough, man.
I got to believe they're going to look to jump to the Big 12 from that division.
Dude, I look to, he's going to be looking for a new job, is what I'm saying, okay? There's absolutely no way he's going to make it through the season. I mean, there's no way, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. What would you have done?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Mac Jones isn't going to make it through the season either. They pulled him out of the game yesterday. And the 49ers looked great yesterday, John Stout.
Niners look really, really strong. But, I mean, what would you do? It's 4th and 1. What would you do? I mean, you know, they get that first down, and he's a hero, right?
Yeah.
You know, so granted, he gets paid lots of money. I get it. But
that's the thing about going for it on 4th. It doesn't matter what the analytics tell you. It doesn't matter anything. It's only the result that determines whether or not it was a good idea.
That's
or not, right?
True, but in a real sense, tactically, he had to make a call because no matter what, okay, you miss that field goal. Guess what? They get the ball to the same place. It doesn't really make a difference there.
Didn't the announcer say something about this has a higher percentage chance in Madden? Like I'm hearing commentators now are actually referencing the game.
Madden is scary accurate.
It is
sometimes.
scary accurate.
Okay?
They were saying that in this situation, breaking it down, Madden, or maybe it was like the stream, not the network feed, but they were actually referencing, well, looking at the Madden numbers, this isn't that crazy a judgment call. And
well, you know, I got to admit, so I mean, there are certain things they can't predict. Like I would like.
All right, who had 8 minutes? Who had 8 minutes on their poll? Who had 8 minutes? Whoever was closest to 8 minutes without going over, you just won.
Like the first generation. But I would like to play Madden as a Jet. It was 8:15.
Yep, I was just going to say, congratulations, whoever had 8 minutes. Bingo.
You are the winner.
You are the winner.
I don't know what you're winning.
Rex will send you something nice.
I'll send you something.
We'll send you some bad signal.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes again. Who had 8:30? Who had 8:30? Oh, this is great. Y'all back? Guys, we got some great stuff tonight. I guarantee you. We got some sketch covers. We got some multi-packs. Hey, what's up? There you are, buddy.
CJ, yeah.
All I can tell you is when you mail in that Comcast bill, it should be in a middle finger shape.
Not my department, luckily, because they shut down the whole building. If I was in charge of that, you kidding me? I'd be fighting with those guys at Comcast every single day.
I'm one step away from using my phone. Hey, we're here with Comic.
Yeah, right. As a hotspot,
big selfie stick and move it to the front of the board. Hey,
so Marcus, Robbie, sell some 10 packs. So. All right, so I don't know. With Madden, it's so weird. I think it'd be kind of cool to play as the Jets through its season with Aaron Rodgers in there and see what happens. You know, who knows?
Press what's in my trunk. You know what? That's actually good. I had some books for a buddy of mine. I had some duplicates of some early Vampirella magazines, and he's like, "Dude, can I get those from you?" I'm like, "Yeah."
All right, so Jay, can we do the incentives first?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to start at the 10-pack, though. All right. So top of the list. All right. So start, as always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. Suggested retail of $3.99 or higher. And we've got it, as always, for the group, $5, 50 cents a copy. All right. So then we have the incentives from last week. All right. So first up, we have Elvira in Monsterland, number 5. Dave Acosta, Virgin cover. Suggested retail of $50. And we've got this one for $40.
This book is so good. I was name drop. I was talking about Dave Acosta and Dave Avalon today. And I was
not Cassandra?
Yeah, Cassandra doesn't take my text quite as quick as
Can't imagine that. Can't imagine why. So weird.
I just get a little automated message that said, "It's spooky how much I blow you off." I'm like, yeah, I know. But they were talking about that this sort of Elvira has turned out, they didn't plan it that way, but Elvira has turned out to, like, a lot of younger people are dialing into vintage horror through this book. And Dave Avalone was particularly really glad about that, because Elvira, once upon a time, that was her job to introduce horror to people.
Right.
Just like way back when Vampirella's job was not to be in the comic. It was just to be a girl in a sling bikini and, talk about scary stories in the book. And a lot of people, Dave was at a con last month and he said people were coming up to him like, I had no idea what Universal Monsters were. You know what I mean? And it was very cool. He's like, of all the people, me and Elvira to be introducing that, it's like a weird reaction, but they were super happy.
Right. All right. Next up, we've got Vampirella Dracula Rage #2. Ken Hazer virgin cover. Suggested retail of $50, and we've got it tonight for $40.
Oh, man, that's actually super dope, man. I love that image, especially the background, the red eyes, the blood. That's a really sharp design.
So cool. This looks really good in black and white too.
And it looks like Vampirella is trying to do like the Bengals and walk like an Egyptian there for a moment.
So
Nice.
Stevie B, that's funny. Yeah, well, Stevie B, he was playing well because Taylor was there watching. He wanted to make a good impression on Taylor Swift.
Nice. Doesn't everybody though, really?
I'm already so tired. I'm already so tired of the Taylor Swift thing. Like, I'm so tired of it now.
I've become a fan because of what she did with her movie. Yeah, you and I have talked about it. Okay, the way she just muscled the studios and said, "No, we're gonna do it my way." Watch, it kind of like a hold my beer moment. Hold my beer. She tweets. Next thing you know, you've sold 35 million pre-sales to her movie.
Okay. Like I said, they could put her in the Senate tomorrow, and I would laugh on that. So happy. Oh, it looks like there's problems again.
All right, the signal on the MiFi doesn't seem super strong, but we're gonna try it.
Did somebody
All
have
so
second go down at 6:17?
So Robbie, I'm gonna switch over to the MiFi card.
Okay.
If we don't come back, more power to your.
Come back. Have a great night, everybody.
Yeah.
All right,
well, while they're doing
that,
I just want to let everybody know to remind you that Vampirella Dead Flowers #1 releases from Dynamite this week, written by Sarah Frazetta, and she will be over at a comic shop in Florida. It's the one that our buddy Spilio works at. I cannot remember the name of his shop, but Sarah Frazetta is going to be there. But everybody, regardless of whether or not you get to meet Sarah at John's shop, definitely go and pick up that book because I'm very, very excited for it.
All right, so we're back.
Are we really though?
I have no idea. Clearly, as Ed Weird noticed, my AOL dial-up isn't working. But John, can you run out and get me the disc?
I know, right? Where is it?
I was about to be like, you got to get a new disc, man. Your 10 hours are almost up, bro. You got. Who's got a Reader's Digest?
I had
from 1997.
Like a room full of those discs is the internet access.
Oh my God! All right.
Famous Faces and Funnies in
Winter Beach.
Like.
Yes,
all right,
there
so
you
next
go.
up. All right, Net Zero.
You've got mail. You're absolutely right. You've got mail.
All right, next up we got Death of the Venomverse #5 110 ratio. Gabrielle Dell'Otto variant.
I really like the artist's work.
And it's trading for 15, and we've got it tonight for 10.
Yeah, I really like this guy's work too, John. His Carnage is always one of my favorites, and Carnage #1 was on FOC today, and there's a foil Dell'Otto variant for that one. So if you're an Dell'Otto fan, get this one and then check that one out later on.
I'm gonna have to peek at that. There's like a small group of artists that I don't care what they draw.
Right.
It could be like Rainbow Bright, and if they're doing the cover, it's going to.
And then for me, so if it's foil, it's even better, man. I cannot tell you what. I didn't realize I had a lifelong dream to have a Micronauts #1 foil edition, but now that I have it, I realize I've always wanted it. So there you go.
Warms every salesman's heart, buddy. What you just said. All right, so tonight let's try to shoot for 30 likes. Okay, so let's do.
Taylor Swift is like a living hotspot. So I'm pretty sure. I saw this thing on the internet. She's becoming the new Chuck Norris.
Hey, settle down. This is a family show. Buddy.
No, she's becoming the new Chuck Norris. They're having all this stuff about, you know how they always say like Chuck Norris, all these things. Now they're doing it with Taylor Swift, and I'm like, I've lived long enough to see through the looking glass now.
All right, so we're gonna do #EXP 30 likes. I don't even know what we're giving away. I'll figure that out at the next break.
Our modem.
Who would want it?
It's vintage.
I'm trying to reward people, not punish them.
Our entire Apple IIc tech setup goes to you.
But you do need the RF modulator and a TV screen from the old days in order to see anything. All right. Next up, we got Flash, Volume 6, Number 1, 125 ratio by Riley Rosmo. Trading out there for 25, and we've got it for 18.
This is real trippy. I like this.
It was a trippy book, man. It actually gets really kind of metaphysical and cosmological, and it has a lot of potential. It was a bit confusing for the first issue, but there's a lot to unpack in future ones for sure.
All right. And then next up, we got The Flash, Volume 6, Number 1, 150 ratio, James Herron variant. Trading out in the wild for 50, and we've got it tonight for 30.
A couple years ago at Heroes Con, me and my buddy Brian and Jim Mahfood and this dude who had this like great binder of original artwork. We got to his James Herron section. This dude's artwork, like seeing the originals, his work is incredibly detailed and awesome and grit, texture, like lots of white media, lots of like screen tones and things like that. This is a gnarly cover. I love it. I love those eyes. It's showing you some of the crazy cosmological stuff that's in the book.
That's cool. I'm trying to think of the name of who draws his name just popped out of my head. Who does Hellboy? Mike Mignola. That has a lot of Mike Mignola energy to me. This cover,
especially with the composition, for sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm looking at this and I almost feel like I'm looking at like something from like BPRD, Man in Red or something. You know what I mean? It's very cool. I like this a lot.
All right. Next up, we got The Flash, Volume 6, Number 1, 1/100 ratio, Matt Taylor variant. Trading out in the wild for 100. We've got it tonight for 75.
They are having a lot of fun with these variants.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
And the readership seems to love them too. People are like, oh, this is a fad. This is a fad. And I would say to people, I kind of, hang out at Dynamite Comics. It's not a fad. Every month we've got 7, 8, 9 covers of different stuff. You know what I mean? So,
I don't know if anybody remembers the movie Romeo Must Die, but this cover's making me think of that because whenever somebody got hit, they would like zoom in and X-ray on their bones getting broken.
Oh,
yes,
man, that is
the movie with Jet Li, right?
Yeah, Jet Li, DMX, Aaliyah. Yeah.
That's right. DMX was in it.
This is why he's got
Leah
awards.
before she died.
That's a great callback.
Big John, what's up, man? All right. Next up, we got Harley Quinn, Volume 4, Number 32, 125 ratio, Joshua Sway Swaby variant, trading for 25, and we've got it for 20 tonight.
Iconic Harley cover.
All right. So then we did Harley Quinn, Volume 4, Number 32, 150 ratio, Corin Howe variant. Trading out in the wild for 50, and we've got it tonight for 35.
Corin Howe's a great artist. He's been doing some stuff with Vault lately, and just amazing work from this artist. He's got a great and bright future in this industry.
Man, when you get the nod from Robbie, you must know you're made as like a creator.
Does Robbie owe you money?
No.
I mean, is it just me, or is John like super complimentary of Robbie today? More than usual.
John's always very supportive of me, man, and I'm always very supportive of John Rex. This is what people do that like each other.
When we got nominated, even though we weren't on your tier, John was like brushing up the mutton chops, like, I'm going for it. I'm going for the best hair, baby.
That's what I call
and I'm
Monday,
like, whoa.
Man.
Whoa.
Mondays, they got to be cleaned. It's the beginning of the week.
I'm like, so I'm saying, he's saying all kinds of nice things, Robbie. But when he thought that window opened up, he was flying through that window like Superman. That's all I'm saying.
If you were able to grow facial hair, you'd understand. But,
Hey, you're just angry because I outed you. Okay.
No.
He was like, "Oh, I'm going." He starts doing this. I'm going. Rubbing his mutton chops. I'm going for Robbie, man. Best hair. I'm going for best hair.
People who have a beard know this. When you have mutton chops, if you don't take care of them, they get real nasty and itchy real fast.
All I'm saying were the most important words were, "I'm going after Robbie's title." That
I literally never said that.
Okay, actually, you didn't realize this because of the shrinkage problem we have. Everything's wired for sound. Let me play back.
I know, right? Everything should be wired for sound in here with the shrinkage, man.
Please.
They could take a day off and these bookcases will be missing. So
dude, nothing goes anywhere except for we have one problem. You know, they have those flash mobs in cities where they break in the stores and stuff. We have just one dude, and we actually open the door for him a lot. So we are probably not a good case study for Walmart and Target and places like that. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, you don't want to go with our method.
Some high-powered corporate execs in the room going, they're letting him in the room. What are they doing?
Not only that, we know the dude's first name, last name.
Tase him. What are you doing?
Oh, I did buy a tranquil gun, though, so for our Screech. So
this weekend when I was over at that market, somebody was selling a trank gun.
Oh, you didn't pick it up for me?
No, they're highly illegal in New Jersey. I'm not buying.
I'm going to say this: the tranquilizer that I bought with it has expired, but I'm sure Screech will be all right.
Walk it off. Just rub a little dirt on it.
I'm sure that's a sell-by date, not an expiration date, so you're fine.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Kind of like bread or canned goods, right? You know, you can eat it up to 2 years after.
Unbelievably, I'm at this market, and it's really cool. You know, the ladies are there selling like crystals and chimes and all the stuff you expect to see at a farmer's market, right? My friend is there, his farm, food, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, there's this guy from Pennsylvania. He's like, oh, yeah, I got this and that. I see this, that, whatever. I saw a few comics. And then he's got like a trank gun from the 70s in its box.
You do realize that federal law indicates that if any kind of firearm is older than a certain point, it becomes considered an antique or vintage.
Maybe. It was from 1977.
That's a long time. I know it seems like yesterday to you, John, but that was actually a pretty long time ago.
All I said to the guy was, I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but New Jersey is very different laws than Pennsylvania. You might want to look into it. And he just kind of took it from the thing and put it.
Is it 1895, CJ? Thank you, buddy. So I guess
I'm just saying, man.
So I know 1895 seems like yesterday to you as well, but you know.
Your catapult is legal now. Trebuchet.
Yeah.
Trebuchet
when it's time to pull when it's time to pull it back, don't call me. I'm busy that day. It sounds like a lot of work.
Like the crank thing, man.
No, bell bottoms are illegal from 1977 all over the world, Marcus, and it should be. All right. Let's okay. So let's do, you know what, we'll do it when we get back. Let's go ahead and take our first break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a couple minutes.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wigline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Hey, we're back. All right, so somehow we're all trapped on perms and bell bottoms from the 70s. And all you did was bring up a trank gun from 70s, and now we're
I told Rex during the break, the guy would kind of lean over and like do a loud stage whisper. I also have spear guns at my shop in PA. And I'm just like,
John's like, I'm just looking for comic books, bro.
I was like, man, I just want to look at these little few comics you had.
I'm not going big game hunting here, all right, man?
Spear gun. Do you see me in the ocean with sharks? No.
All right, so let's finish up the incentives. All right, so next up we got Power Girl Volume 3, number 1, 125 ratio, Otto Schmidt variant. Trading out in a while for 25, and we've got it for 15.
DC gets overlooked sometimes for this. They decided probably sometime in the mid-2010s that they were going to do long-form female characters. Power Girl, Starfire, and a lot of that stuff was very good. It was well drawn and it was well written, and somehow it just sort of slipped away. You know, the books don't have, I mean, sure, some of the variants do, but some of those average stories, you know, like Power Girl trying to find herself or whatever, just very cool stuff. A lot of that's like Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti. Stuff is just really well written. And a friend of mine just picked up a bunch down in Florida, a bunch of trades. And it's just, you know, like the trades of this stuff.
Right.
And he was going to sell it and he didn't see a ton of value for it. So he just started reading it. He texted me one night. He's like, you know, this Power Girl is really good. I said, yeah, I read this stuff. It's not collectible, but it's really cool to read. It's very sort of, you know what I mean? I'm guessing this is a wraparound cover, maybe?
Yeah, I believe it is. Do we have a copy of
cover.
The incentive in here? I don't know if we do. If not, I will find a version of it for you. Okay, Big John. He says it's sold out in the store, in his store. So, all right. So we've got that one. All right, next one. Power Girl, Volume 3, number 1, 150 ratio, Frank Cho variant. Trading for 50, and we've got it for 40.
Frank Cho covers are always popular in my shop. We sold out of this cover, but we still got some of the others. But we ordered heavy on it because Power Girl has its fan base for sure.
All right. And the last Power Girl, Volume 3, number 1, 1:100 ratio by Warren Liu.
Wow.
$150 it's trading for, and we've got it tonight for $100.
I'm trying to figure out how they got the sheen in here. Is that maybe coloring? I mean, the coloring and inking here is just because this isn't like a foil book or anything, but the texture.
Yeah, it's like some digital painting.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I was looking at this and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a cosplay. This isn't, you know what I mean, a photo cover. This is
right.
But there's, you know, between the angle and the sheen, I'm like, did they turn her costume into armor? Or Power Girl is on an upswing, by the way. I was having a back and forth conversation with one of our cosplayers, Rachel Holland, and she said for the first time, there's been a huge uptick in places requesting Power Girl cosplay promo material. She's booked to appear at a few shows, a few comic book stores in her Power Girl cosplay cape thing or whatever. Right. And that kind of came almost out of nowhere.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? She was talking about there's like set characters that most cosplayers get hit with. right? And then there's the stuff which is sometimes like a little bit briefly trendy, like Sweetie from Dynamite, and then it goes out of nowhere. And then she's talking to some of the other cosplayers, and they're getting a lot of Power Girl requests. So, maybe there's something out there in the community where they decided that, this character is more than just a pinup, more than just a punchline. And, they're trying to sort of...
All right, let's do a quick recap of where we're at so far. And here we go. All right, so first up, as always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we have it for $5 for all 10 books at 50 cents a copy. Next up, Elvira in Monsterland, number 5, Dave Acosta Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we've got it for $49. All right, then we had Vampirella Dracula Rage number 2, Ken Hazer Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we've got this one for $40.
This is really I would love to know, if Ken's in here, I want to know what he's thinking when he draws this.
You mean he's not answering your text either?
No, but I mean, I think it would be more interesting if he was in here to talk about it on the show.
We got to figure out a time.
It's almost got a little bit of like a Dagon movie poster from that's maybe 1990.
Right.
That movie.
The Stuart Gordon film. That's a good movie, man. Good pull, bruh.
I'm looking at the poster and then I'm looking, and you're right. It's almost like Vampirella is in front of like a full size poster. Like a wall painting, you go to one of the cons and they take over a whole wall and they paint that's what this looks like to me. It'd be very cool, but kind of different from the other covers in there.
All right. The next up we had Death of the Venomverse number 5, 1:10 ratio, Gabrielle Del Otto variant. Trading out there 15, and we've got it for 10. All right, now we have more than one of this. All right, but I'm thinking about doing this as a giveaway, one copy. The Flash Volume 6, number 1, 1:25 ratio, Riley Rossmo variant. Trading out in a while for 25, and we've got it for 18. And we do have multiple quantities of this, but we're gonna make this the giveaway. All right, one of them for the night. All right, so hashtag EXP 30 likes, and hopefully, we're close. We'll get there. All right. Then next up, we got The Flash, Volume 6, number 1, James Harren variant, trading out in the wild for 50, and we've got it for 30. Then we had The Flash, Volume 6, number 1, 1:100 ratio, Matt Taylor variant, trading for 100, and we've got it for 75. Right. And then Harley Quinn, Volume 4, number 32, 1:25 ratio, Joshua Swaby variant, trading for 25, and we've got it for 20. Oh, no problem, Preston. My pleasure, buddy. All right, then Harley Quinn, Volume 4, number 32, 150 ratio, Corn Howe variant, trading for 50, and we've got it for 35. And then...
Oh, Eddie, I hope you're feeling all right, man.
No worries, Ed Weird. Feel better, buddy.
I'm feeling well. Have a good night, man.
Power Girl, Volume 3, number 1, 1:25 ratio, Otto Schmidt variant. Trading for 25, and we've got it for 15. And then Power Girl, Volume 3, number 1, 150 ratio, Frank Cho variant. Trading 50, and we've got it for 40. And then we've got Power Girl, Volume 3, number 1, 1:100 ratio, Warren Liu variant. Trading for 150, and we've got it for 100 tonight. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go to, let's go sign books. I know my buddy, our buddy Ron is taking a little trip, so he is not here tonight. So
he texted me that he was.
Good for him. Good for him. All right, so
did you get that from my trunk? No, I'm just kidding.
He did, as a matter of fact.
He did get that from my trunk.
You want me to roll back the tape? All right. So Screech is in here with a piece of original art. Go ahead.
I'm shocked. Nick gave this to me and told me that this is available right now at the first claimer or claimee. And when he said the price, I almost
claim it.
All right. It is a let's write it down. It's a number 1 cover by.
It is a cover recreation of Frank Miller's Wolverine number 4. M. Mykowski.
All right. Cover number 4 recreation by whom?
Maikowsky. Mykowski.
Okay. All right. So, and you want to tell us the price?
$300 for a full cover recreation that normally goes for at least $500.
All right. First person to claim it.
You better be sure that's a 3 and not a 5, or this will be your last week of the company.
All right.
That was 5. Get out.
Go ahead. Put it on the rack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, put that on the rack. That's cool, man.
You know what?
I go down one more level.
Yeah, I go down one more.
There you go.
Cool.
Go like that.
Don't worry about the books behind it. We have pizza. All right.
Nice.
So we have a recreation Wolverine number 4 cover
Yeah,
recreation.
Very cool.
I don't think we've ever sold one this low for $300. All right.
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
first
say,
person who
that's-
claims it.
Nick must have had like
I have
the
no
3
idea,
Christmas
Milk
ghosts arrive early, and now it's like $300.
It would. Yeah, I don't think so, Marcus. I disagree, respectfully.
We might be able to get him a signed Nick picture. Warmest regards.
All right. Marcus, I've done everything I can about that. There's nothing more that I can do.
What about Nick's perm?
Yeah, the picture. I've tried everything I could, but there's nothing I can do.
He showed it on Friday.
He did. Do you
We,
have?
we did a lot of stuff for Friday. He's probably going to get mad at me for showing it again, but yes, I kept the picture I made.
Who wants to see it?
Oh yeah, put that up there.
Whoa!
Nice. Look
There
at
they
that
are.
jawline on him back in the day. That's awesome. Look at
Nick Butabi, look at that.
yeah.
Oh man! All right, so we'll be selling that for. No, I'm kidding.
Can we get signed cover sketches of that?
Dude,
We're lucky. We're lucky he doesn't shut the power
I
off.
bet T Public could put that on a t-shirt for me. And I'll come here and I'll do the show.
Why don't you talk to Jay directly after the show? Okay, I think Jay can probably hook you up.
You imagine no, I'm gonna wait till it's a little bit colder so he won't see it, and I'll just have like a hoodie and then I'll just...
Jay, you and Amy.
Oh, hey Nick. I didn't
What's
realize
going
you
on,
were in the office. Oh wow.
You know, it's weird. Amy on Friday was texting and then said, I gotta go. I'm pretty sure she texted Jay that
Who?
picture of me.
Who?
Alex.
Who? I
Alex
don't know
is
who
selling
you're
your
referring
stuff
to.
cheap. Maybe you want to take
Yeah. Put your
Let's
screen
get
under
Alex
the
in
bus.
trouble.
He's in here. We don't know if he got permission from you, but he's got recreations and throwing out
Found
numbers like
everyone's
$300.
Christmas gifts from T Public.
So
Sure.
you know, if you want to borrow the trank gun for the kid,
You
you
want to
know,
know what Jay did on Friday?
I'm
what?
afraid to ask. Is this his final night?
It is.
We love you, Jay. We'll start a GoFundMe page for you, buddy.
Yikes.
He started off playing Staying Alive.
Oh no.
And I told him
no.
that's a Navy's picture.
Oh, man.
Then he played Night at the Roxbury.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, that's
that's
why.
totally-
Okay, got it.
That's your
Got
Nick
it.
Butabi.
Robbie Roach, what's up, man?
That was perfect.
And then I reminded him. And I should have kept my mouth shut at that point. I said, that's the 80s. And then he played Angel Eyes.
Yeah, but the guy with the perm
See,
didn't
you
have
should have.
anything dynamic going on.
You
with
should have
either.
just said,
See how it
yeah,
works?
that's my perm picture, and just let it die, man. As soon as you kept doing that, you fed fuel to that Jay's fire, man. Okay, it was like lighter fluid.
You need your glasses checked. I was never handsome.
He had good hair though. That
That's
was
the
pretty
reason
big
why I
hair.
got the perm.
You know,
Oh,
I knew-
whatever,
I
Nick.
knew
You're
you grew up in
dashing in
Philly,
that
but-
photo, man. You're dashing in that photo.
What was
You're
your
quite a
nickname?
dynamic force to be reckoned with.
Are you sure?
You know, I know you grew up in Philly, but man, that could give Jersey big hair a run for its money, man. Back in the day.
Like I said on Friday, my friend Hercules, who was good looking, got a perm, and it looked good on him. And I had a mow haircut back then.
Not the bow. Oh,
I had the mow. I had the bowl cut.
Everybody
It
had
was
a
your
friend
mom,
with the
right?
bow.
Your mom made you get the mo?
It's the only thing I knew. And so I decided to get a perm. And I forgot. I didn't realize one thing when you're that age.
What's that?
Good looking people look good no matter what. He could wear pink suit and it would look good.
Yeah.
I wear a pink suit and you'll throw tomatoes at me.
No.
I should team up with Dustin from Stranger Things. I got to watch Stranger
Oh,
Stranger
nice. That's
Things to
funny.
understand that.
Well, I can't believe you pulled out the picture.
I
But-
made a promise.
But that wasn't the
At
first
first-
perm, was it?
Yeah, it was.
That was it? That was the
only
one?
perm.
I don't know, people. Seems a little fishy to
That
me.
was Nikki the Young Rose.
No, that was the perm. That's in my high school yearbook.
I think there may be a
Feels
prior-
very Second Street. So
Oh, you know what?
I didn't survive with Second Street much.
I'm gonna I'm gonna message your mom on Facebook
And
and see if
Jamil,
she has some
and
photos.
Jamil would know about Second Street.
Oh,
The
Oh,
Irish and
okay.
the Italians.
Robbie, last update, obviously Travis is doing as well as can be expected under the circumstances, I think.
Thanks for asking.
So,
Robbie.
but I know John Stout, he and Travis live pretty close to one another.
Take the Wolverine off.
We're not selling it for 300.
You can sell it for 300 since.
Well, we're gonna leave it here then.
No, it's covering the other book.
No, it's okay. We have pictures of all the other books as we get to them.
yeah. The one thing we don't have pictures of is the
is the art that Screech ran.
Mill skills. I work with
a lot of union guys.
That's funny.
I don't know what that means, Mill Skills.
Those guys eating from breakfast carts are the reasons why I can be here all the time and never
That
have
is
to
true.
go to work.
That is
Between
true.
Atlantic City
I
and
really love those
Philadelphia,
food trucks.
A lot of pork roll
Jay
and
even
cheese.
demonetized the video on Friday. He pulled so many scams on Friday to
Oof.
get that up there. Amy and I are gonna have a conversation about this.
Good work, Jay.
Is it going to be during her exit interview?
See,
Apparently next week it'll just
that's
be
why I
me
like working with
yeah.
creative guys like Jay. They find a way.
I know what.
Oh,
All right.
Too funny.
So,
I
kudos
hope
to you,
somebody
Jay.
jumps on this though, because this is very cool.
For $300.
Yeah, for
I'm sorry.
$300, this is sort of.
I don't think we've ever done it.
Yeah,
that well.
I mean these things aren't at that price. That's sort of like the Nick gift to the community.
Yeah, no doubt. Because think about how much we have to pay. Someone has to pay the artist to get the
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's almost sort of like Nick is just
Yeah, pretty much giving it away. All right, so let's do our sign book. So tonight we've got Uncanny X-Men number 526, signed by Terry Dodson. It is number 47 of 50, and it's probably the lowest. This is the lowest I think we've ever done a Dodson signature.
Nice, Marcus.
We've got it at $10 tonight.
I go to a lot of cons, and I've never seen the Dotsons at any con that I've ever been to. Actually, now that I think about it.
You know what? That's a really good point. I mean, I guess between Robbie, myself, maybe some other people, we've probably been collectively up to a lot of cons, right? And I can't remember seeing them. I got a signed copy of Red, but not from them. I got it from a dealer as part of like a larger transaction. But it wasn't like I got them to sign it or anything. Especially, and not to make it sound exceptional or anything, but I've been to a fair amount of Comic Cons in San Diego the last up until the pandemic, probably about 13 or 14 of them, and I can't ever remember seeing them there. Whether it be at a panel or even just Artist Alley or maybe something else,
right?
Maybe like a Strangers in Paradise things that I just don't remember seeing.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got Secret Invasion, Amazing Spider-Man, signed by Brian Reed. It is number 4 of only 20 signed, and we've got this one for $19.99. And these, believe it or not, these were I don't want to call them vault finds, but it is from a satellite warehouse. Some of these are 10 years old plus.
Is that oh no, for a second I thought it was a venomized. I was trying to look at what this is, but it's obviously like a.
It's one of the powered up Super Scrolls from Secret Invasion.
It almost looks like they're trying to be a Sinister Scroll because I see rhino horns, lizard tail, the kind of logo for Venom. So first I'm like, is it a venomized scroll? Is it supposed to be like a Sinister Six scroll, a Sinister Scroll? It's neat. I mean, I don't think I've seen this before, like ever.
All right, next up, Marcus, Satellite Warehouse meets John Strunk. Now, we got a bigger space. We use this other card, too, the hatchback.
I know, right?
All right, so next up, we got Chaos War number 1, signed by Greg Pak. It is number 50 of only 65 signed. and we've got this one for $19.99.
This was a cool story. I just reread this on Marvel Unlimited recently. It's a cool story that almost slipped between the cracks of bigger crossover events, right? Because you've got big event, big event, big event, big event, and I almost feel like this sort of, like slid off the radar a little bit. But it's a cool story. It's something they could revisit too, given the right creator.
It was definitely hurt. It was definitely hurt because it was during that era where Marvel was like really going crazy with their events, and they were like trying to do one every 3 months or something like that. And when you do that, they get buried. You know what I'm saying? Secret Wars and Infinity Gauntlet and Crisis on Infinite Earth stand out because there wasn't anything else like it at the time.
Well, I remember right about this time too. I think they really tried everyone's happy that the Ultimates universe is back. No one more than me. I love the Ultimates universe. But this isn't the first time they tried to bring the Ultimates universe back. Right around the time of Chaos War and some of these other, like Robbie said, just constant events, they tried to do some Ultimate stuff like Ultimate Doom and Ultimate, you know what I mean? And it didn't
Cataclysm and stuff like that, right?
It wasn't bad. But it was just like, Bendis and those creators kind of put the Ultimates up here, right? Spider-Man, the Ultimates, Ultimate Fantastic Four, and X-Men. And by the time you get 9, 10 years later, 11 years later, and they're trying to kind of push it back up, it just, too much of what had made the Ultimates universe cool had just seeped into the well water of Marvel 616. Like, you know what I mean? They had just taken so much of that stuff.
I should have Alex come in here and talk about this. Alex, come here. These are Ken Hazer artist proofs. One of a kind. This is what he drew to get approval from us. So they're $100 each, but they are the artist proof.
So basically, if Ken gets a message that you need to see an artist proof for something, and just send it to me because I'm right here. This sounds like me getting a cover.
These are artist proofs for Board Rivals. Ken Hazer, they sent to us.
Very cool.
You ever see Galaxy Quest?
Yeah.
So you're only a character. Their only job is to repeat the computer. That's her only job.
That's her only job.
So let her do it.
Let her do it.
If you haven't been reading the series, you're missing out because for the first time ever, G.I. Joe, Transformers, the Energon universe is combined in one with Image Comics Void Rivals. This has a 4th printing. Transformers #1 that comes out this week already sold out. Is going to 2nd printing. Issue 4 came out last week of Void Rivals, and these are all artist proofs. Look at that 8. Oh wait, there it is. Look at that AP under Ken's name. So these are tonight's special price of what do you say? $100 each.
I thought he was going to say $300 again. I was going to be like,
well, $300 are all 3, or $100 each. So. Void Rivals.
Here's what's really cool about Void Rivals. Transformers, like Alex said, comes out this week, #1. I read this thing months ago, and I've been building up hype for this book amongst my customers, amongst my YouTubers. Like, this book is awesome. I've read it, I'm like a John Cole with this one. I've read this thing 13 times, right? I'm obsessed with it. Daniel Warren Johnson's doing a great job with it. It's a Daniel Warren Johnson comic, but it's the Transformers, but it's not like any Transformers book you've ever read. This book is going to be one of the books of the year. And when everybody that's jumping on, new and old fans, because this is going to bring back old Transformer fans, this is going to bring in new fans. And when they realize that it started in Void Rivals, those books, which have already been disappearing, are going to start disappearing faster. So this whole thing is so exciting and has the potential to really make some waves for our industry.
The best analogy I heard about Void Rivals is injecting new life into this hasn't been seen this well and at this level since Jeff Parker did it with Future Quest and the Hanna-Barbera characters. I mean, let's be honest, the Hanna-Barbera characters have no backstory, so to speak, right? Jeff has to take them from here all the way up to here in Future Quest. And I mean, that's one of those things. Future Quest is another thing, sort of gets forgotten about a little bit. But I defy anyone of a certain age, if you've seen Hanna-Barbera cartoons and you read Future Quest, you see these almost like recreated with like real stories.
Right.
The Space Ghost story in and of itself, I'm waiting for DC to collect that. because it was so good. And people who've seen Void Rivals, I forget who it was, that was the analogy they made. This is like a Jeff Parker Future Quest level, not even expansion, like reimagineering of the Energon universe.
All right, so mill skills. All right, so obviously Screech says yes, we do. So we'll get your price, my friend. And then David Ellington, welcome, buddy. Make sure we are doing giveaway. The giveaway will be The Flash, Volume 6, Number 1, 125 ratio by Riley Rossmo. And that's we have multiple ones for sale as well, but we're going to give this away. Throw up in the chat, hashtag EXP30 likes. We get to 30 likes, so we're giving that bad boy away. All right. Okay. All right. You got it. You got it, Mill Skills. We'll make sure. All right. So next book, you have a price, my friend.
Jamil has a special for you. Last sale was $400, best offer accepted, so it wasn't $400. The last listed sale was $240. Void Rivals 1 in 100. We will do one for $225, Jamil, if you would like it. $225. Void Rivals 1 in 100. First print. $225. Let me know if you like this. If not, we will offer this to everyone else. We only have one available at the moment, and we'll give Jamil first dibs.
So, all right. So, Jamil, you have first right of refusal. Mill Skills wants to know the condition.
Tell him 9.6. Jamil, 9.6 plus. I mean, we got the.
What are you trying to turn me into Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell Jamil what I'm
9.6. Mill Skills
on camera right now.
John,
don't touch it.
Get me the Tricon.
I know, right? I'm rethinking. Maybe I shouldn't have passed.
So we'll go viral. If he falls forward, he'll fall right into the camera. We'll go viral, man.
Claim show,
Jamil. Very small amount of stuffing, but I can probably erase that and get that off. It's probably 9.6, possibly 9.8 contender. So let me know if you want it.
All right. So let us know if Mill Skills turns it down. It is open to anybody who's interested. All right. All right. You got it. You got it, buddy. We're putting it in your pile.
Cool. Let me go take care of that for him.
All right.
Great pickup.
So Screech will put it on the pile for you, my friend.
I'm telling you, this Transformers thing, I mean, all of us have been in this industry for a while, and I'm feeling something from this. I'm feeling something from this Energon universe. I really am.
I hope so. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. Felt a little bit like the last few movies. They've definitely jumped the shark, but
yeah. And we all know this. Hasbro doesn't approve anything unless they're going to make toys and movies and animated series.
I was just going to say that they would not. If it was another book, I'd be like, maybe it's hype. But Hasbro is like, it's always the end game is earning. It's an IP, it's earning, et cetera, et cetera. So if they're behind this, and there's all kinds of talk about writer strike will end, they'll get back to it. They're going to find a way to try to make like a Hasbro-verse, so to speak. I would not be surprised to see this be, because we talked about this before. The MCU was the pioneer. It broke through, right? Shared universe, really billion-dollar box office, et cetera, et cetera. Now that whole space is cleared for new people, right? Might not be the MCU again, but other people will do it. They're talking about putting Aliens and Predators in a new series of movies. They're talking about doing, Transformers and G.I. Joe in a new. There's a lot going on there.
And you need to grab up these Transformers and Void Rivals and stuff before the spoilers drop, which may drop tomorrow. You never know how these things go. There are big spoilers for Transformers #1. And once that drops, everybody's going to be wanting to come for this issue.
Right.
Yeah, I used to say this a lot, but seriously, jump on this stuff before the wave, because it's the rising tide, all boats, all these books that we have for X now aren't going to be X later when they start announcing, well, this is going to be Hasbro is going to put this on Max and it's going to be like a new series, or, we're going to the movies or whatever. Right. Don't wait till that point, because you're paying more for essentially the same book.
All right. So we got to go to our next break. So we're going to do that. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us. We'll be right
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise. A promise of adventure. A promise of excitement. A promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
They literally did not say no. So immediately Apple News and everybody ran with, we're getting John Wick and Equalizer.
I found another one.
So,
as a special, one more, I will honor the Jamil price of $225 for one more copy, 98/96 plus copy of Void Rivals #1, 1 in 100. This is the book for Void Rivals. One copy, $225. Anyone else who wants it?
One thing to know about that Void Rivals too is that it didn't start at that price when it first released, so it just keeps getting higher. The hyper and more hype that we get. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of reading this comic right here, so not to make anybody jealous, but like, yeah, this is some real good stuff. Everybody's going to buy this book this week, and it's so freaking cool, y'all.
Well, that's because all the first generation fans from Transformers and G.I. Joe are now creators in the industry with gravitas. They can make this stuff happen, right? Yes. Like you look at the analogy I make is with Star Trek. Right.
And the crazy thing is, unlike a lot of licensed comics, Hasbro's kind of like, Kirkman, you're responsible for Walking Dead. We trust you. And Kirkman goes, Daniel Warren Johnson, I trust you because I like your work. And so it's like, it's honoring what came before, but it's doing its own thing with it. And y'all will know exactly what I'm talking about on Wednesday.
That's an example of a positive, at least to date, smart corporate relationship, right? Here's Hasbro with their IPs, and let's be honest, it's Hasbro has a few bucks, right? So they're doing okay.
I heard that.
They grab Robert Kirkman because they're like, look at this guy's track record. Even if you take The Walking Dead out of it, I've maintained for a long time the best actual superhero story told during the time period it ran was Invincible. It was about 100 and something issues. I understand even by Kirkman's admission at the end, he started to try to get a little too tricky. He regretted it, and he brought it to an end. But there's just a section where I don't think anything was better in that genre of the superhero comic than Invincible. And then the guy has a bunch of other stuff he's done, which is all top shelf. This is a super smart deal where they're like, hey, man, you're the man. Pick the people you want to do this. He's almost like your general contractor.
All right. So, Robbie, all right, buddy. We'll skip to that real quick. All right. So, here we go. Star Wars Poe Dameron, #1, signed with Grogu and Mandalorian cover sketch by Dan Needlinger. A new artist.
Man, this is nice.
I like his stuff too.
I
dude.
like this a lot.
All right. Suggested retail $149.99. We've got this one tonight for $77.19. And I guess we can all figure out why it's $77.19.
This is a beautiful cover. It looks great. Nice. Yeah, I was going to say it looks great, but my favorite part is going to be the second cover they do, where it's Baby Yoda, Grogu, spitting up a bunch of frog guts on the Mandalorian's mask. That's going to be great.
I'm so glad I'm wearing this helmet.
John Stout, Phil, TJ, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, this is a beautiful cover,
I said hello to John Stout already. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm getting old. It's old man problems. So there you go, Robbie Roach. Let me know, $77.19. I'm guessing that your girlfriend is a huge Grogu fan. That's why she probably will want to see it. Love this. This is our first time with this with Dan Needlinger's artwork. I really like it.
I don't know if this is the inking or Needlinger himself, but I really like the way he's sort of like he's got the texture of Grogu's head. It just looks very, very, very realistic. You know what I mean?
Mariano's usually a point guy with new artists and sketch artists and that stuff. And when he lays it out for us to take a look at, I'm always like, wow. And I got to tell you, this guy, Dan Needlinger, it jumped right out at me. There was no way, I'm looking at it going, whoa, you kidding? So kudos to Mariano for finding all that talent out there. It's not easy, but and kudos to all the new artists that we've been dealing with.
I joke around a lot about Mariano's desk. The amount of art that he has on that desk, like seriously, people sort of, samples or whatever they're sending him. It's worth cruising by his desk because some of that stuff is like really, like it turns your head. I'm super fortunate because he's working on something, and he's like, "Hey, come here, take a look at this," and I'm thinking, holy cow, man, this is, you know what I mean? Like to get that first look while he's actually doing it.
So, really TJ, that may be true, but it's still somewhat hurtful. I'm just saying. Jay, I gotta be honest with you, man. R&D. Dude, this ain't SpaceX, bro.
Well, he's the art director, right? That's the official title.
No problem, Robbie Roach.
I'm kind of that seems to me to be what he does. I mean, I only loaf here occasionally, but he seems to be the art director.
All right. So next up, we have Avengers versus X-Men #1, signed silver by cover artist Jim Chung. #6 of only 10 signed. $69.99 retail. It's one of our 5-star $50 books.
Jim Chung was at the Memphis Comic Expo last week, and in my rush to get ready, because I didn't have enough time to really go through my collection with a fine-tooth comb, so I just grabbed stuff.
You mean fix your hair?
Yes.
He has people for that. He doesn't fix his own hair.
But I was like, I don't think I have anything by Jim Chung. Of course I got stuff by Jim Chung, but I didn't get a chance to meet him last week. So, yeah, I don't know why I said that, but I love his work. So this is something really cool for everybody to check out.
All right. So we hit 30. Cool. So
nice.
We're definitely doing a giveaway. Lyle, cool. Just so we understand each other, it's a depends, okay? Not pretends. Okay. All right.
Pretends? What?
Keep up, dude.
By the way, didn't notice any smells at the con this weekend, so nothing worth noting. Just nobody was wearing anything as powerful as Jack White. Yeah, Garth Ennis walked right by me on his way to the bathroom, but I didn't get a good whiff of nothing.
Okay. Next time, a piece of advice as your friend.
Did he smell like season 4 of The Boys was coming anytime?
A piece of advice as your friend. When you retell that story in the future, leave the bathroom part out.
Okay.
Okay. Just trying to help you.
There was a moment though where me and my homies, we were like, should we pretend to go to the bathroom right now? So like maybe he's in the urinal next to us, and we're just like,
stop.
Hey,
okay.
Hey. But I thought that was a bridge too.
That part of the story, I would also leave out.
That was a bridge too far. That was a bridge too far, though. So I didn't do that. No.
Everywhere, my friend. It is a bridge too far everywhere.
Could you imagine someone following you into the bathroom to say what's up? I really like your work, bruh.
Oh my God. All right.
I want to start by saying
I really love your work. What kind of cologne is that? All right. Next up, we got Fantastic Four number 587, signed by inker Rick Magyar. It is just a retail of $29.99, and we have it tonight for $19.61.
I guess it's a little bit trope, but when they do Fantastic Four covers, like the quad covers like that, I just think that's always very cool. I know people are like, oh, they've done it a million times or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but first of all, this one's done really well. And second of all, it all kind of goes into the whole Fantastic Four pastiche, right? It's all they're almost like the bridge between sci-fi comics from the late 50s and very early 60s and the birth of like the superhero age, right? They're almost like they've got like one foot in each world, right? Because they're really not superheroes. They get pulled into superhero stuff, but they're really not superheroes.
Right.
They're scientists and adventurers. And I think when people try to make them superheroes, it's less successful. John Byrne talked about when he did that, he tried to imagine what it would be like to be rock star level explorers like, at the time, Jacques Cousteau. What would it be like if you were like Jacques Cousteau popular, TV every week, and you had superpowers?
Oh, I remember watching that show every week.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time people, younger viewers might not get, but yeah, there was a time where Jacques Cousteau went somewhere and like everything stopped in your house. You sat down, you turned on the TV, and you watched where Jacques Cousteau was. And a lot of times, oh, nobody's been here for like thousands of years, and you're like, what? So Byrne's idea was, let's treat the Fantastic Four like that.
All right, so Robbie Roach, you've been a viewer long enough. We don't usually do this, but because it's you, Robbie, and it's your girlfriend who's obviously a huge Grogu fan or Baby Yoda, whatever. We'll do it for you,
whatever,
buddy. All right, this is it's just that you're a great guy. You've been very supportive of the EXP, of Travis, of everything we're doing. So solid. All right, so that's yours, Robbie, at 50. Okay.
When Robbie is a pheromonist at like a perfume house in Europe that's worth like $500 million, he's going to look back at all the little people and laugh.
It needs more Jack White, this fragrance.
or when he's in a federal penitentiary, okay, with Bubba asking him what he's wearing. I'm just saying, this could go south real fast.
Yikes!
All right. It is Jay, TJ. All right.
Oh, real quick, somebody popped it up too. We'll probably talk about it at some point. Gen V. It's
no problem,
kind of
Robbie
like it's kind of like a companion show to The Boys. Some people don't like it. I love it. I've watched it a couple times. A friend of mine is one of the producers on the show.
All right. So next up, we got Fantastic Four number 570, signed by Jonathan Hickman. It is number 12/20 signed, and we've got it for $49.99.
This is Hickman's very first issue of the ongoing Fantastic Four, which turned into one of my absolute favorite runs of my absolute favorite superhero title of all time. And you were talking about that sense that John Byrne was talking about, how like they're not superheroes, they're explorers, they're adventurers, right? And that's kind of like what Kirby and Lee initially kind of saw the thing as, because superheroes weren't working for them when they did Fantastic Four. So they didn't even get their costumes till the third issue when they realized that they were selling as well as superhero comics, right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, they were in clothes. I mean, they were literally in clothes. And of course, the Thing had next to nothing on it.
Oh, yeah. And so Mark Waid did the same thing in his run with Mike Wieringo, where he actually said that they were Imaginauts, right? That's the term that he dubbed for them. But this was the first issue of the ongoing run by Jonathan Hickman, introducing lots of cool concepts that he develops throughout like a good solid like 2-year run, I think, on the title. And a lot of those elements went into his Avengers run into Secret Wars. I guarantee you that when the MCU finally gets around to doing Fantastic Four, they're mining Hickman, because they did that with Avengers, right? With the Black Order and all that stuff. So yeah,
actually, because almost anything else, like they can mine Kirby if they want to set this thing in 1960. But if they want this to actually be an active part of the MCU, then they absolutely have to go to that work. Like the little toss-off things that didn't matter before.
Time out. 1 second, guys. All right, Mike Asbill, nobody did. So that one is yours, my friend.
Congratulations.
All right, at 225, my friend. Yeah, Mike, it's you, buddy. Yeah, we'll hold it for you, my friend, until you resolve that problem. All right, so
I hate to hear that. That happened to me like a month or two ago, and it sucks when that happens, man.
I will be honest with you.
You gotta run down to the bank. It's just
it happened to me. It happened to me a few years back.
It's not great.
Yeah, so I got you down, Mike. The second one is yours, my friend. And it happened to my debit card, and I didn't notice it because when I was looking at my account, they dinged it at CVS, and I go to CVS all the time, so it doesn't look that odd. But then when I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, CVS in Chicago? I haven't been in Chicago in years. Then the bank called me to let me know that there was a suspected fraud, and they got it into my debit card. So I went to the bank. I do not have a debit card anymore. I have an actual ATM card, and that's it. You can stick it in the machine, punch in your code, take cash out. You cannot charge it on anywhere or do anything like that with it, right?
So you just walk around with cash in your pocket all the time?
No, I use credit cards.
Okay.
It's no big deal. Yeah, because I don't know.
What do you pay your credit card with? Cash? You send them cash in an envelope? What do you do?
No, dude. It's
you tie
so
it directly
easy
to your account or something, right?
Yeah, it's. Okay. I have an app for every card, and my bank and everything just moves that way.
Dude, where I hear they get you is in some of those like random gas stations you'll be at to get gas. Like I heard like people put something in there that will like copy your information or something like that.
The skimmer, yeah, the skimmer on the top.
There's a skimmer on the top. There's another thing where basically you think someone has a cell phone, and this was a warning in out in San Diego, and I'm going to say it was like 2017. They had stuff posted. There were people with cell phones, and you would pull out your credit card because people, San Diego is what I call a whale con. People will drop $4 or $5 grand at a show. People will pull out their card, and somebody will have their thing, their reader. It looks like a cell phone. It's no big deal. The next thing you know, your transaction doesn't go through because your bank has shut off your card.
So this is why I do it. So and most Americans know this, I assume. But
wow, nice. These stores you can't snowbank.
I know, but what happens if it snows more in the winter? Do you lose your money? Do you not able to find it as the snowbank gets bigger? But the reason is because you have more protection with a credit card than you do with a debit card. Like a debit card, I don't know what it is, but you've got like a few days to figure out that the money's gone, okay, and try to put a claim against it. A credit card, especially American Express, dude, you go out a year and then challenge a charge. And most times Amex will, I've done this both on a merchant end and as a customer end, okay? Amex will almost always side with the customer, okay? So to me, it just offers better protection, right? Because think about it. When I use a credit card, I haven't actually used my money yet. I'm using the bank's money.
Yeah.
So if there's a problem and they say, well, you have to pay it, I'll be like, no, I don't think so. Okay. But a debit card, you've taken the money right out of my account. That's my money.
Debit card, I tell that to people all the time. When you're traveling, a debit card should be staying in your wallet, in your room, in the safe or something. That's the last thing.
Well, I told my daughter, exactly to go lucky. I told my daughter,
exactly right.
I told her, I actually got her a credit card. She can still apply for her own now. But back then, when she's like, oh, I use my debit card. I said, do not do that.
Yeah, that's not.
I said, every time you use it, you give somebody the ability to access your information. It's coming out of your account.
One of the local businesses here admitted after a court case is like a buffet type place. People are going in all day, credit card. They've been hacked like 5 times in 3 years. And they were kind of like hiding it. But all these people, including a neighbor's sister-in-law who like friends of the family, or whatever, she's like, I can't believe I got busted twice. And I even said to her, don't you eat? I don't want to blast the place, but I'm like, don't you eat up at blank? She's like, oh yeah, every week. Exactly.
So
don't do that. Use cash if it's like $20.
What was interesting when I went to the bank and said, listen, I don't want a debit card anymore. I just want an ATM card. That was not easy. So what I found out, like back in the good old days when you had an ATM card, they could print it for you at the bank. Well, when I went to do what I wanted to do, it no longer worked. They said, no, we got to mail that to you.
Yep.
I said, what are you talking about? She goes, we can print up your debit card right here at the bank. But if you want only ATM features, we got to mail that to you. It was weird. Yeah, it was very strange. And I was fine with it, because to me, it was like, for that period of time of waiting for the card to come in, I just go, if I really need cash, I go into the bank and withdraw money. But ultimately, never. I would never have another debit card again. I'm not real cool with those cash apps like Zelle and
that seems to me
Venmo.
To be a disaster waiting to happen. Like my wife is like, oh, I'll Venmo you. And I cringe.
I'm like, no.
Wait a minute. It's family. Can't you just do some kind of secure transaction?
So,
like she's sending her sister money for like hotel reservations or something. I'm like, it's not a stranger. I can understand the stranger needing immediate cash. Your sister doesn't need immediate cash. I could get it to you in a secure way.
Yeah. So what's funny?
A more secure way.
Yeah. What's funny is that I've had. I think wires are okay, Marcus. I don't do a lot of wires at the bank for the amount of bills I got to pay.
I was gonna say I don't think I've done a wire transfer.
Yeah. That's like $24 too. No, but the funny thing is this: is that, when I was doing all of this stuff and people are now Venmo so popular. Oh, I'll Venmo me. I'm like, dude, I don't have Venmo. Okay. I still write, although it's down to 0. I do still write a 1 paper check every quarter.
Oh, you're practically Amish.
Well, it's my landscaper. I've even asked him, like, dude, do you have any? You go, no. And so I got to write that 1 paper check to the landscaper every quarter. Right. But other than that, I don't even have, but I'm not doing, no. So my friends, oh, you can Venmo. I said, I don't have Venmo. So I got to call my daughter. Can you Venmo cash to so-and-so? Because I won't get a Venmo account or is it Zeal account or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I still do paper. I still do paper checks for my rent here at my apartment complex for some reason. And they keep telling me, they're like, we got this app that you can use. And for some reason I won't use it. I still I don't know. It's like the one time I get to write a check.
I got to be honest.
A bank account in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah. Right. So Lyle Hobson with the money order. That's funny. I actually don't have checks. So the bank I bank at, you can get a cashier's check for free if you bank there. So now I've been getting that cashier's check and then mailing it to my landscaper. He asked me, do you Venmo? I go, no. Yeah, Ryan, that's what I'm saying, man.
Somebody else, it wasn't Cash App, but it was another one of those apps where it was like, oh, get your paycheck 2 days early.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, the person can't access their paycheck.
Right.
Because there's some kind of.
See, I'm okay with PayPal because I can move money into my PayPal account. Okay. But it's not, it's not tied.
Well, that's because PayPal is owned by Skynet. So
yeah.
it's all sort of.
So it's not automatically, it's not connected to my checking account. I would never connect anything to my checking account. All right, it's just no way, because that one time scared me, man. If the bank hadn't called me, I wouldn't have noticed.
Well, a lot of people don't know American Express will do an actual check. If you belong to American Express, whatever, have the app on my phone for Amex, it actually shows you, like, the phone turns sideways and it shows you a check and it sends it off. And it's not, I think they charge you like $9 every time.
By the way, I'm sorry if Nick's watching. Nick, I did not try to derail the show talking about fraudulent checks and debit cards and get these guys.
I think we get on that.
However, when you're paying for these books, just send cash, care of Rex.
Yeah. Send a cash check or money order too.
See, what scares me is he put my name there. which means that when I leave with all that cash, somebody's going to jump me out there.
Somebody said something about Canadian money. Not only do I love Canadian money, I love the fact that they have $1 and $2 coins. It's like being at a Renaissance fair when I pay for my coffee in the morning in Toronto. Like, dink.
Dude, we bought a comic book collection a couple months ago, and I'm going through it, and then there's this random folder, and I'm looking through it because sometimes when you buy collections, you'll find the most random stuff in there, right? And there was this whole bunch of like Iraqi money with like Saddam Hussein's face on it, like crisp and clean. And I was even like, for all of a sudden, I could think about like, oh, I know, like owning Nazi gold, I think is like a crime. Is this? Are we not allowed to have this?
I'm a hundredaire. He jumped up and down.
What's the exchange rate on a Saddam Hussein Iraqi dollar or whatever?
Yeah, I think they call them loonies and toonies. I absolutely love coins.
But then I remembered with the Iraq thing, there were people that would be like, they were selling like Iraqi money as like online or like on TV. They were acting like it was a big.
Was gone, so it was
yeah. They're like, this piece of history.
So, Jay, unfortunately, we do not accept llamas. Okay, just to be clear.
Well, no, llamas are cute.
Company policy: we do not accept llamas, only goats. All right, so here we go.
You want to sell a book to these people? Your job's in jeopardy.
Look, llama boy.
He can't fire me. He can just throw me out.
No, but I can get that llama, run you over out in the parking lot. All right, so next up we got, this is a nice one. Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk #2, signed by Len Wein. Obviously, no, most unfortunate.
Just talking about the Ultimates.
Number 13 to 50 signed, and we have it for $69.99. So that is obviously not something we can get signed again. Unfortunately.
But
all right.
That's really
okay. So then, let's get through all the signed stuff before we got to go to the next break.
Ultimate books got me back into Marvel because by the late 90s, Marvel had just burned me out to the point where I was kind of doing like Dark Horse and some of these other things, but I couldn't take one more character with buckles and patches and a glowing eye and a scar. I was like, you're killing me. And when Ultimates came out, people were telling me, no, dude, you'll like this because the characters are normal. They're drawn proportionately. It's not nonsense. And I remember I grabbed, I think, like the first 4 issues of each thing. I was almost there from the beginning. And I was like, oh my God, this is what you should have been doing the whole time. And I remember people hating me because I was like, I want them to stop doing the other comics and just focus on these. And people were like, are you crazy?
All right, let's get to the last 2 before we got to go to the break. X-Men Curse of the Mutants, Blade #1, signed by Dwayne Zawinski. And we suggested retail of $69.99. And tonight we have it for $19.99. And that is a great cover. And I just watched the Blade trilogy again the other night.
No, there's only 2 movies I accept, man. There's not a trilogy. There's only Blade 1 and 2. They never made a
sucks.
No, they never made a
third one. Sucks. It wasn't the acting; it just sucked.
Isn't that Triple H?
And I forgot why it sucked, and now I remember again why it sucked.
It was Triple H and a Vampire Dog.
Yeah, the second one was I'd forgotten a lot of it. It's a really good one. I really
second one's good with the Reapers, man, with their throats coming out like that.
Screenplay and how the Reapers came about, and how there was kind of a twist at the end. Is that maybe the bad guy's not really a bad guy.
See,
you got it, Robbie
would
Roach.
Be a very cool thing to revisit. The idea of the Reapers and the twist or whatever, everything has a predator, right? Vampires are at the top of the food chain. No, they're really not.
Yeah, it was good. So and it took it back to the Max Schreck Nosferatu thing. And Mike Mignola was a designer on that project, and you can tell.
Yes. I mean, it was, I forgot, the first one you always remember, that was it. But that second one, the only problem was the way they brought back the character Chris Christopherson.
Whistler,
Whistler.
Well, that's because the original ending of the first movie was Whistler was the vampire at the end that he meets, but they took it out. Yeah,
and I was kind of like, I didn't remember how they did it, but I was like, after watching it over the weekend, I was like, yeah, that's kind of lame, the way they did that. But other than that, I really liked it. I thought it was a good storyline.
David S. Goyer.
David S. Goyer was the writer. Guillermo del Toro was the director of the second.
Yeah, director.
I remember Goyer has a reputation for getting, as I the most kind definition I heard was Goyer has a reputation of fumbling at the goal line. He almost gets there, and then somehow he just
Sounds like the Cowboys.
At the 3-yard line, he fumbles the football.
All right, so
I'm not going to say if that's fair, but I've heard it said, and that's
last signed book is Wolverine #1, signed by Jay Lee. 11 edition signed, and we've got it for $19.74. Jay Lee autograph book. All right, so we're gonna go to break, and then
cover, man.
we're gonna come back and do the sketch covers, do a quick Rex cap. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a minute.
What if Hans Gruber from Die Hard had to battle the Joker from Batman the Animated Series in a dance battle? Or who would win in a race between Baby from Baby Driver and Snidely Whiplash? If Austin Powers and Shrek found themselves in a hot dog eating contest, who would emerge victorious? These are the questions we talk about on Nerd Killer Warfare. Debate the most absurd questions you've ever heard in popular culture. Register now by scanning the QR code or visiting bit.ly/EXP casting.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
All right, so
we are back.
First of all, Marcus, you are correct. But even if we had one, I would do my utmost to push their product.
Oh, what? No.
But I ain't using no catheters.
Please tell me he misspelled cathedral. What is going on?
Yeah, no. Sinner, if you're gonna watch a show with a bunch of old guys on it, that's what you're gonna get, man. So I don't know what. Yeah.
Well, I did see
I'm with
something
Preston
about Ghost Rider.
I'm with Preston. At my age, I'm grateful for that. Me too, and I know John is.
I think Ghost Rider is kind of primed for I don't want to say comeback but every few years they try to come up with like a new version for Ghost Rider, and I think especially if they're kind of peeking around about we'd like Keanu Reeves to be Ghost Rider. Yeah, so would we.
All right, so
I think the right creative team kind of would it's time for that again. Especially, horror has never been bigger. I'm sure Robbie knows this. Other people who are working in the horror space know this. Horror's never been bigger. commercially and the internet. I'm old enough to remember when people were like, ew, horror movies. And now you're at a table and people are like, I don't watch The Walking Dead or I don't like horror movies. It's like that needle on the record sound. Everything stops and everybody looks at the person, like they're a pod person. Like, what do you mean you don't like horror?
All right, so let's do the Rex Cap real quick. And all right, here we go. Ready? Collecting dude. Screech. Jay's talking about everybody that watches the show, buddy. Okay. Robbie. You're gonna say blessed with good hair too.
That's part of the genetics, right?
All right, here we go. Rex Cap. Uncanny X-Men number 526, signed by Terry Dodson. We've got it for $10 tonight. I don't think we've ever sold a signed book that cheap. All right, then we had Secret Invasion, Amazing Spider-Man, signed by Brian Reed, number 420, and we've got that for $19.99. Then we had Chaos War, number 1, signed by Greg Pak, and we've got that for $19.99. Then we had Avengers versus X-Men number 1, signed in silver by cover artist Jim Chung. Suggested retail of $69.99, and it's number 6 of only 10 signed, and we got it as a 5-star $50 book. So we got it for $50 tonight. Then we had Fantastic Four number 587, signed by inker Rick Magyar. Suggested retail $29.99. We have the one available for $19.61. Then we had Fantastic Four number 570, signed by Jonathan Hickman. Number 12, only 20 signed, and we have that one for $49.99. Then we had Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk number 2, signed by Len Wein. Number 13, only 50 signed, and we've got that for $69.99. And then we did Wolverine number 1, signed by Jay Lee. It's just a retail of $29.99, and we've got it for $19.74. All right, so let's do the rest of the sketch covers. Got some neat ones here. All right, so first up, we got Fantastic Four number 1 and Uncanny X-Men number 1, signed 2 connected cover sketches by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $199.99, and we've got the 2 connecting covers tonight for $100.
I need to ask Mariano if this is Johnny Storm or the original Human Torch, because that's sort of considered like that's Marvel Comics number 1, right?
Don't email me.
I would imagine that it's the original Human Torch because the throwback to the Golden Age, Carl Burgos, Bill Everett, but it could also be Johnny Storm because he's the one that found Namor in the Golden or in the Silver Age in Fantastic Four number 4.
All right, so then we have Iron Man 600, signed with Punisher cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
If the Council of Reeds isn't a thing it should be. That was a very cool idea of we're the smartest person in each universe, so we should hang out and figure stuff out.
All right.
It's like a Reed Illuminati.
Suggested retail of $119.99, and we have it tonight for $74.19.
What most people don't realize is that this is the first appearance of Frank Castle after appearing on Nickelodeon after getting slimed.
Nice. Who did you kill, dude?
All right, next up we have S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1, signed with Deadpool Carnage Fusion cover sketch by one of our brand new artists, Jessica Court. Man, that's amazing.
That's very cool.
We have it for $149.99 tonight. Yeah, I'm really liking her stuff. Her work.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
I'd like to see Punisher. I'd like to see this artist. I'm sure John would too. Still, yes, but
I suggest you send an email to
Mariano.
Yes. Don't copy me, please.
Is Mariano still here?
No, dude. It's 7:38, bro. All right. So then we have S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1, signed with Hawkeye and Ant-Man cover sketch by Dan Niedlinger. This one is super cool.
This is always
just a retail of $149.99, and we have it for $63.19.
I like this guy.
I do too. All right, then we got another one from Jessica Court. Doctor Strange #1, signed with Spider-Gwen cover sketch by Jessica Court. $149.99 suggested retail. We've got this one for $69.99.
I love this one. This one's so cool.
Dude, yeah. Jessica Court, Dan Needlinger, all these new artists. We've got the Maitland brothers. Man, a lot of you guys. Marion's doing his thing, man.
This one's metal too, bruh. So that's even better. Like it's super
really
metal.
It's very. I totally seriously. I mean, I joke around about it a lot, but you cruise by Mariano's desk and you see some
neat stuff.
You see some really neat stuff. Like, oh, is this going to be a cover? And he's like, well, maybe. You know, is there kicking stuff around or whatever? It's a very cool. Now I want to see Gwen Strange.
All right.
Because you know how there's like a Gwen version of everything, Gwen Vereen. And, I want to see Gwen Strange now.
All right, so I'm going to apologize for advance for the minute with Screech.
Real quick before we get to that, somebody said something about why does Namor have wings on his feet? Well, first of all, because that's the way the character was created, 1930, whatever. Second of all, at some point they explained, I think this might have been John Byrne,
causes him to fly.
The wings were his mutation. Because he's not just Atlantean, he's a mutant.
Yeah.
And at some point, I don't know if they followed through with that, but the wings were his mutation similar to Angel.
Right. The wings make him fly, but I also think of it as like an homage back to Hermes, right? So I think this.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the original. Bill Everett is probably thinking, you know, like we're kind of going to like a.
Bill Everett was just like, hey, I want him to fly. How about some wings on his feet? And in the movie, it looks ridiculous, man. When he's just like. Flying
I hate
his
to
wings.
say it, I realized people had different impressions of Namor. The wings were just a miss for me.
Screech, before you start, since you're up anyway, can you grab the recreation, please? All right, so to continue with the Rex Cap, or last part of it, Wolverine #4, cover recreation. We got it up. Cool. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks,
or did you do it, Screech? Or
no.
Who did? Thank you, Amy. All right. I don't think we've ever sold a cover recreation this cheap. We've got this one tonight for $300. First person to claim it, it's yours. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jay. You the man, dude. I should have known. You think quick on your feet. I mean, look at what we did with the perm picture. Way to go, buddy. All right. So that is also available tonight. If anybody's interested, $300. First person to claim it is yours. All right. And then Screech is going to do his thing. And then when at the end of what Screech does, we will do the drawing for our book, which if you haven't put it in, hashtag EXP, 30 likes, all lowercase. And the giveaway is Flash Volume 6, #1, 125 ratio by Raleigh Rossmo. That is the giveaway since we have more than one. There we go. And we'll do that drawing immediately after the minute with Screech.
Let's stretch the minute as long as
Shouldn't it be called 60 Seconds of Screech?
So,
can you just go get the trank gun, please?
Like I asked. So much positive feedback on our grab bags. Yes, our mystery grab bags. So now these can be yours. Not these guys, but these grab bags can be yours. $5 for 3 random books.
What? These boys trying to get
$10 for 7 random books, or $20 for 15 random books. And these have been so much fun to put together. Again, these are grab bags, mostly 90s books, lots of reader stuff, all things in good condition, just random grab bag books. And again, that's $5 for 3 books, $10 for 7 books, and $20 for 15 books. Make 2, we are all the experience here. The experience is all of us together, existing harmoniously right now.
A minute to Screech it.
Oh, good one, Preston.
We might have to trademark that. That's not bad.
All right, so
yeah, that one's gonna stick, I think.
If you want a grab bag, claim grab bag with $5, $10, or $20. I put together 5 $20 packs last week. It was a lot of fun. That person's gonna be very happy with the selection. So again, grab bags.
Are they though, John? Are they really? Are they gonna be very happy?
They should be. The next thing is this week we have 3 amazing new books coming out. Well, we have a bunch of new books coming out. But we have 3 special books that have Dynamite.com exclusive covers. So these covers are only available on the Dynamite.com website, and they are extremely limited print runs. First is Alice Cooper, Volume 2, Number 1. Sean Alexander, Black and White Virgin. This book looks so cool in person. I got a copy. I love it. Look at that cover. This is the only black and white version available, and this is only on the website. Nowhere else can you get this specific version. Speaking of Vampirella Dead Flowers, which Robbie is super excited about, we've got Sarah Frazetta's amazing red line art on Vampirella Dead Flowers number 1. This is extremely limited, and for a special time, for $10 more, I believe, you can get a copy signed by Sarah Frazetta as well. So, Vampirella Dead Flowers number 1. This is the Sarah Frazetta. This is the red version, and you get a copy signed by Sarah Frazetta. And finally, we all love our girl Sheena, and this is Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, Fatal Exams number 2, the John Royal line art version. This looks so nice with the line art. The color looks so good, and his line art looks so nice next to it. And of course, you've got the green background next to it. Look at that great back, Sheena Green. So again, this is the John Royal line art version.
My Legacy of Dynamite Comics, green cover.
Dynamite.com exclusive. Again, these are only available on the website. Jay, if you could throw that link up, the Dynamite link. And this is the link directly to these exclusives. Limited print runs. And these books all come out this week.
And I do believe that Preston is right. It's Colette Turner who did the Vampirella cover. It's written by Sarah Frazetta and signed. Colette
Turner line art, the fiery red version. And we can have a version signed by Sarah Frazetta. And finally, it is October. So, the new previews is out. Yes, this is October previews for December. And Dynamic Forces, of course, has 4 amazing pages. Jamil, we did not get the Wolverine 37 version, unfortunately. But I'm going to go over really quickly the 10 amazing items on page 1 of the solicits. So let's start with the biggest thing right now, Spider-Boy number 1. This is Chris Capana's first Marvel cover. Chris Capana is an amazing artist. He's super nice, super cool, great guy. And this is his first Marvel cover. So we're celebrating his first Marvel cover by offering this signed by Dan Slott. Now, stick around because I believe next month solicits will have this signed by Chris himself. But this month we're offering this signed by Dan Slott, the writer, MSRP of $70, but this is going to be $39.99. Now, where can you get these? 2 options. You can go to your local retailer and ask them to order Dynamic Forces books, or you can go to dynamicforces.com. Jay posted the website. Click that link, and you'll see all of our upcoming solicits for December, things that will be available in December on sale now. Spider-Man is key, so we've got a ton of Spider-Man solicits, starting with Spider-Man 39 of the Amazingness. This is signed by Zeb Wells. Spider-Man Gang War, signed by Zeb Wells. MSRP of $49.99. To this month, $39 for signed Spider-Man 39 Zeb Wells. We have Spider-Gwen Smash. Yes, Spider-Gwen Smash number 1, and we're offering the CGC graded 9.6s are our minimum CGC grades. However, we do pre-screen, and all the 9.8s go out first. I haven't seen a 9.6 go out ever. So, almost guaranteed 9.8 for Spider-Gwen Smash number 1, CGC graded, MSRP of $99.99.
Hey, Jeff Wedding. Welcome, buddy. Nah, it's all right. Better late than never,
Indeed,
as you say.
Indeed. Spider-Man of the Amazingness 29. This is a David Paratore comic exposure, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Yes, you couldn't make it to San Diego Comic-Con. Comic Exposure was able to procure copies of this for solicits. So we have this, $29.99. This looks so cool. That looks just like Dell'Otto. Speaking of Dell'Otto, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 30, the Dell'Otto comic exposure. This looks very airbrush in a good way. I don't mean airbrush like Photoshop airbrush, but like he uses airbrush.
I'm assuming this is the roof of the Comic Con.
I mean,
of the San Diego
he's on a
Convention
bridge.
Center?
I mean, it does look like
doesn't it? It looks
the Crystal Palace.
I was going to say it really does.
So this is Gabriel Delato's comic exposure exclusive for $29.99. And to go with this, we also have issue number 33 of Amazing Spider-Man. This is Delato's Gargoyle-esque variant of 33, also $29.99. Both of those Gabriel Delato's Amazing Spider-Man. Again, classic images. And of course, everyone knows Gabriel Delato's Spider-Man cover, which is the most expensive modern book. 9/8 sold for $40,000 of his Spider Island book. Yep, you heard that right. Gabriel Delato Spider-Man variant has sold for $40,000. So again, Gabriel Delato covers are very hot, especially Spider-Man books. This is Spider-Man 33, the comic exposure variant. And we do have one Ultimate Spider-Man solicit. This is Ultimate Spider-Man number 62, signed by Dave Michelini. Look at that awesome, cool Carnage cover. Yes, this is an older issue. This is an actual first print of Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. But this is Carnage Part 1. Actually, 2. I think it's Carnage Part 4, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's...
funny story, I got a subscription for 3 issues when I was 12 to this series. And I got 63, 64, 65. So I picked up the last issue of the Carnage arc. So I never got to read the first 4 issues. So when I finally did, I was very sad that I didn't get started earlier because this whole Carnage run is great for Ultimate Spider-Man. So those are the regular solicits. We have 3 amazing sketch covers being offered. First is Ken Hazer's Power Man and Iron Fist. Yes, this is Luke Cage, Power Man himself, on a Power Man Iron Fist
sweet
cover.
Christmas. Nice cover.
The yellow really pops on this. Again, MSRP of $99.99. However, Ken Hazer's special price of $77. Again, these are all solicited through previews, so slight variations may occur in the final image. However, it will be Luke Cage, Power Man's face.
Little known fact about Luke Cage is that he wears that tiara because his widow peaks go all the way down there. Just so you know, his hairline goes all the way down.
It's true. Didn't he borrow that from Wonder Woman? But to go with Power Man and Iron Fist, Ken Hazer also did Iron Fist, of course. Yep, there he is. Nice. There is Iron Fist. Danny Rand, $77, MSRP of $99.99. But
Ken really laying in the cadmium yellow. It's like Bob Ross.
Yeah, this one really pops. And finally, the last sketch cover, Mariano Nicieza, Joe Del Beato, Daredevil sketch cover. This is the Daredevil 183 Punisher. Yikes. Daredevil classic homage cover for this. MSRP of $149.99. The full 2-body sketch. We have it $99.99. So again,
this just gets sent to John Spilios.
All of these are available in this month's previews. You can go to your local retailer, ask them to order these for you, or go to dynamicforces.com, and these are all on the link right there for our upcoming solicits. The last thing, of course, mystery box is going very well, so make sure you check out the mystery boxes. Dynamicforces.com, search mystery boxes. Check out Robbie's videos because he has a great breakdown of what's in the boxes. And with that, this has been a Lex Cap.
No.
A Lex Cap. I get it. I like that.
No.
Hey, real quick. We only got a few more minutes. I know we're about to get to the giveaway, but I just got a question to ask y'all because y'all are close to Pennsylvania. And I know that you're mostly like closer to Philly, and Philly's got its own food culture, but I never knew this thing existed. And like I saw it randomly on my socials like a few days ago, and I've seen it like over a dozen times since. Is it true that in Pittsburgh they make pizza with just sauce and then they add the toppings on raw afterwards? Is that true?
So Pittsburgh pizza is like that. Some places do. Some
Dude,
don't.
Pittsburgh is 6 hours away from us.
No,
I know. I know that John's here.
But ask Dave Portnoy for his Barstool pizza review of that place.
Oh,
we'll
please.
just grab sauce and shove it in his face.
Dude, please. No.
Well,
Barstool, he's a
places,
moron.
The food truck, National Food Truck Convention used to be in Pittsburgh for years.
Oh, I think you know, but
they have it at the Odd. And what they would do is they would have the dough would come out hot. The bread would come out hot. And the sauce, it wasn't even like the sauce the sauce was cooked. I don't want to say it that way, but it was like room temperature. They would rely on the heat from the dough to cook the sauce and sort of heat through the topping.
So
that was fine if you were getting, like if you were getting onions, you were getting raw onions on a pizza. Not everybody's cool with that.
Mill Skills, you are correct. Preston, you are correct. So we have something in our general area, meaning New Jersey, Philadelphia area. It's called a tomato pie. And what it is you don't get that layer of cheese. You get the sauce or gravy, as we call it here.
Sauce or gravy.
Yeah, and that's called tomato pie, and that is.
And then some people will argue you can or you can't grate cheese on it. Like some of these real old school places, it can't have any cheese. In Atlantic City, to make it flash more on the boardwalk, they would grate. Back in the day, they would grate cheese on it when you ordered it. It was like an experience. Yeah. So now you've got this weird thing where in South Jersey, there's grated cheese on tomato pies. Philadelphia, that's still sort of.
John, you're telling me this is a real thing. In Pittsburgh, it's kind of like some places they make the dough, and then they put the sauce on there, and then they add the toppings raw. That's crazy. Yes. That sounds like it could be interesting, texturally.
Pennsylvania has a few little weird, interesting pockets. They've got places up by, I guess it's by Penn State or whatever, where they use American cheese. And by American cheese, I mean like orange Kraft singles get melted onto this big, thick, doughy pizza. I am not a fan of that at all. But, there's a guy who I met at a food show. He's got a Facebook channel called SEPA, Southeast Pennsylvania Pizza. And he goes all around. And these people, it's basically big, thick squares of dough with a much sweeter sauce. It's closer to ketchup than tomato sauce, and just slices of American cheese. And then they put it in a toaster oven. It's not even done in like a proper pizza oven. They swear by it. They love it. Pennsylvania is very weird when it comes to pizza for me. And then you go to Philly and you'll get like a great normal pie and it'll be fine.
So in other words, if you want to go on a pizza adventure, this is the area up to New York, the place to come to. Okay, every variation you can think of.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll probably get here. Okay,
from Chicago to Pittsburgh to Philly to y'all to New York, right? And
there's a place like 20 minutes from us doing Detroit style pizza.
Yeah. You can get Detroit style.
I love Detroit style. I love
Detroit.
You can get
Chicago deep dish.
Delicious.
You can get every form of pizza that's pretty much ever been invented.
Doing deep dish pizza.
Yeah,
it's going to be called like deep dish something.
All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract us for so long.
You should have brought this up at the top of the hour, man. Okay, that's what you should have done. All right, Jay, spin that wheel for us if you would.
Yeah, people in Connecticut swear by their pizza.
What do they do in Connecticut?
Not have professional sports teams.
Big
John!
Congratulations, John.
Big John, you are the winner, my friend.
Well, they do they do like a clam pizza up there. And I don't have a problem with a clam pizza. I wouldn't say it's the best pizza on the planet, but I think it's very good. I think if you decide to go in that direction, you can get tricky with seafood and pizza. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
So you want to hear a funny story, right? So Angelo's, the one down in Union Mill.
They don't have anchovies, do they?
They do, of course.
Do they?
Yeah. Where do you think Nick orders it from, right? But I don't get the entire. Sometimes I do, but I get the small pie. But I don't always get the. So they got to put it on top, right? The slices. And what's funny is the woman that works that shift. She already knows coming in anchovies. So I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, and a lot of times I got to open and you can. But what I will tell you, Robbie, you would have the pizza adventure of a lifetime. Okay, every style,
There's like a pizza triangle. They make it look like a slice, and it's New York, Philadelphia, Atlantic City. And that area encompassed between there, big part of it is Jersey.
Right.
And pretty much most of the pizza styles that I've seen through Barstool or whatever your jam is for watching pizza, is available somewhere within, I'm going to say, 90 minutes of where we are right now. Because we can hop on the turnpike, we could get up to Hoboken, and we could get Benny Todino's slices, which are probably about
Yeah.
big as this piece of
I have a
art.
picture. I have a picture with my daughter. I think it's LaBella's in Medford.
Okay.
With the extra big slices.
Yeah.
Dude, their slices are so big. I had my daughter hold it up. It's bigger than her head.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just like,
there's
the
everything.
slice is
There's
just ridiculous.
California style pizza.
Yeah.
Over in Cherry Hill, where it's almost like it's on a cracker.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so thin.
So, Robbie, tell us again what's up tonight.
Tales from the Hood.
Horrorfest continues with Tales from the Hood, which is the winner of the PCP Army 2023 movie poll. It's the movie that the audience chose. So
Awesome.
yeah,
We've had a lot of people come
That's
in
a
late in
great
the
movie.
show, so I want Robbie to tell us again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jay, what do we got coming up?
This is like the best time of year to watch Robbie's show. That's why I'm
It is.
excited.
So I was trying to put the pre-save link to Robbie's show in the chat there, so you can go ahead and check that out. We're going to take a little break, and then at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, we're going to have the Devil's Advocates with Bronze Age Nerd and Kyle, who is going to be streaming from Baltimore, Maryland, where he's at getting ready for PoFest.
Cool.
And the question of the night they're going to have is, how can we save the comics industry, or does it need saving?
There you go. Sounds like an interesting topic. Make two, there are. But no self-respecting person that lives in New Jersey or Philadelphia
It's like for kids.
would ever
People
go
buy
to
Domino's for kids.
You order Domino's when your kid has a party and you want to pay
It's cheap.
for cheap,
It's just like
and
rich
those
people.
kids will wolf it down. If you want pizza, nobody goes there.
We have a ton of great places that have Cuban, Puerto Rican, Filipino, Mexican food. People go to Chipotle because they want to feed kids cheap. They get a
So,
box of
Center
burritos
24,
and-
you're going to have to tune in on Wednesday, and we'll explain to you that in the Northeast, Italian Americans call their tomato sauce gravy. Okay, and
Yeah,
if
it
you call it
depends on
anything
the
else,
party
they
where
look
you
at
are.
you like you're stupid. Trust
just
me.
watch Martin
When they say
Scorsese
that.
or Sopranos, and you'll know that.
You'll see this, but absolutely, this is the time of year. Like I said, this is the time of year. Well, always check out Robbie's show, but this is the time of year where it's spooky season. So you absolutely, like a lot of times you don't know what you want to watch, right? And
exactly.
I've been through a ton of vintage horror, and I've kind of seen all the Vincent Price. So a lot of times I'll use what Robbie's doing to what my next watch is going to be.
All right. So on that note, we'll be back Wednesday. Robbie and I will be on PCP at noon on Friday for the topic of the day. Nick will be back at 7 p.m. on Friday for the original art show. Other than that, John will be at the shore. That's all
Thanks
we got.
for joining us, everybody. Go check
Peace.
out Robbie's show and then our other stuff later tonight. Have a good night, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.